Good morning. Just a series of internationals at the moment. We've got some league football today, thankfully. Let's have a look at Africa yesterday. A couple of odds on favourites going down. That's the problem we have, trust issues. A lot of these are ranked very highly. I mean, their numbers are high, they're not ranked highly. So we have some potential issues. Algeria, Guinea, for example, we did get an equaliser. An own goal that perhaps sums up Algeria for you there. So in that regard, get an equaliser, but keep my powder dry. Egypt, at least get the result against Burkina Faso. Did a certain Mr. Salah turn up? No, it was Trezeguet. So a bit lukewarm. Senegal, one of the highest ranked sides, conceded a very late equaliser to Congo. Elsewhere, did you look at the shorties as a potential for a correct score? High correct score win to nil. I did mention it yesterday. Not so with the Aussies, 0-2. But if you look at this 1.04 shot, I would do 3 correct scores here. And I probably have to use the bookmakers because Betfair rounds up the correct scores with any other home, any other away, rather than 4-0. So in this regard, 1.04, you're either going to go 4-0, 6-0, 8-0, 5-0, 7-0, 9-0, something like that. So it's just a luck of the draw whether you go odds or evens. Look at that, 7-0 there. Japan, 5-0, 7-0, 9-0, or 4-0, 6-0, 8-0. Ka-ching. That's a nice way to turn unbackable into backable. 1.03, well, not quite for the Saudis. Only 3-0 there, which was a pity against Pakistan. 4-0, 4-0, 6-0, 8-0. Well, if you went the evens route there, you'd have done all right with the Arab Emirates. So don't forget that particular angle in for these very, very short-priced favourites. And as you can see with this kind of a league, can get the odd, not league, but quality of teams, can get the odd upset. Well, a 0-0 is an upset for a 1.14 shot. Just to prove the point, 1.04 here, 6-0, 8-0, 4-0, 6-0, 8-0. Here, well, got the 4 goals, but they did concede. You'll note, when I look at 1.04s, I tend to expect a win to nil. Right, friendlies. You're going to be trading friendlies, are you? Well, good luck with that. 1.07 Wales. Didn't quite do what Scotland did. This is very poor. I would suspect, well, at least I hope we're seeing some peripheral players playing for Wales. I don't know what the first 11 looks like, so I couldn't tell you how strong the Welsh side was. But that is a poor result, that 0-0. The turn of the ladies yesterday in the tennis, no real angles. And you can see Swiatek's odds are rising with each consecutive round, as you can tell. Paolini and Andreeva, 1.8 the favourite, could go either way. It could go 3 sets, it could go to Andreeva in 2, Paolini in 2. That's pretty much what that is saying. Even Stevens. So Friday again, we've got competitive football in Africa, but there are some woefully badly ranked sides, greater than 100. The likes of Morocco, we know, have the makings of a rock solid international unit. Playing my home country of Zambia, where I was born, the Copper Bullets, they are by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. But they might be losing today. So we've got some big guns out today. We've got Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Morocco. By big guns, I would say better ranked than their opponents. If you look at the FIFA World Rankings for the CAF, the African countries, Morocco 13th in the world, Senegal 17th, Nigeria 30th, Egypt 37th, Ivory Coast 38th, And we've got some North African sides, Tunisia and Algeria, 41st and 43rd. So there are some fairly high-ranked African sides. The ideal, can we trust the higher-ranked sides to perform to their actual ranking ability? Morocco, the best ranked African side out there. So that would get your attention as far as a trading match is concerned. Montenegro, Albania, I think I'll give that one a wide berth. And in the Irish Premier Division and Irish First Division, we've got two postponements there, Shamrock and Athlone. But so let's have a quick look through the research, just the very basics. Athlone and Wexford. Athlone unbeaten in 10 and in 9 at home, scoring in all of those matches. That's pretty good stuff. But 2.3, the favourite, is telling you the market expects this to be a tight affair. Wexford are collecting draws. They're unbeaten away against the top two, but a heavy 3-0 defeat last time they were away to Athlone. So interesting match. I don't like the market here, giving Wexford a chance. Athlone's odds for me should be a lot shorter with that unbeaten run of 10. Co-Bramblers and Finn Harps, 2.45 the favourite. As Les Dennis would say, give that one a miss. Cork and Longford, head-to-heads are emphatic and were won away from home. The inference is that Cork should be as strong with home advantage. 0-2 and 1-4 away wins against Longford already this season for Cork, so that must be something we can pin our hopes to today for them. Treaty United against Bray, both teams to score based on the head-to-heads. Expect second half goals, if none first half. 11 out of 12 goals scored away have come second half for Bray. UCD against Kerry. Kerry are the normal side that you get, i.e. take on. Poor at home though, only 2 wins against 3rd and 10th for UCD. Second in the league. Head-to-heads have been tight as well, so this might not be as obvious as the odds suggest. 2 consecutive 0-0s for University College Dublin suggests you take the 0-0 on late second half if it's still 0-0. In the Irish Premier Division, Derry against Galway, both teams in reasonable form since April, making this quite difficult for me to dismiss Galway. Only one loss since the 12th of April. They might be vulnerable because I can't score that second goal away against the top 8. And they play second today, Galway. So on that basis, they might be vulnerable today. Where's that second goal? Drogs against St. Pat's. You might want to back 0-0 pre-match based on St. Pat's. 1-0 and a 0-0 for Drogs against St. Pat's this season as well. St. Pat's have had 2 0-0s away against the bottom 2. And they're playing, again, a bottom side today. So back 0-0 pre-match. Hopefully it's 0-0 at half-time. You can cash out. Shelburne against Dundalk. Tight head-to-heads with Dundalk just going down by a single goal. Shelburne seem capable of capping Dundalk at that single goal. So you might want to pin your hopes on that if Dundalk score first. Will they really score a second consecutive goal? Waterford and Sligo. On seasonal form, Waterford have performed well against 6th and lower. It's 4th against 6th today. Any loss other than another 1-0? Question mark. So if Waterford are to lose, is it just going to be a 1-0? That could give us an angle in from an insurance perspective. And footballtradingprofits.com members know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about insurance. The Finnish Veikkausliiga, Hacker against Mariehamn. It's tricky to evaluate Mariehamn, who beat 3rd away last match. This is early season 6th against 7th. Hacker conceded 5-3-3 goals in the last 3 matches as well. That's not quite the form of a 1.8 shot, is it? Lahti against Inter Turku. Expect at least a goal before half-time. Trust issues with these two. They're finding winning difficult. VPS look like a potential title contender. Their only defeats this season have come against first in the league. But 2.25, they're not even favourite, VPS. 3 defeats for Ilves. Loss, win, draw away. They've scored in their last 7. 2 out of 3 Ilves defeats came against the tight top 3 tight 1-goal in it matches. So this could be a tight affair for VPS today. But if they're only just losing to top of the league KUPS, can we take on any Ilves lead? HJK, what's happened up front? 1-0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0 goals scored by HJK recently. That's going to leave them vulnerable, particularly against an SJK side who are vying for a possible title push as well themselves. 3-3 in the last head-to-head, though, goes in stark contrast to HJK's recent inability to score that second goal. Well, the friendlies continue today. Ireland are playing Iceland. Germany are playing Greece. This will be a good example here of how a 1.29 Germany will perform, given the fact that against Scotland on the 14th of June, they're 1.29 favourites. So this will be fascinating to see. Poland are facing Ukraine, and the Scots are playing Finland. We'll see how McTominay et al. Get on. These are previewed. We're likely to see a first 11 out in one half at least. But we're also going to see a raft of team changes as well, which makes it very difficult to read these matches. So I'd be very cautious if I was you trading these matches. But 1.13 for England suggests that they should be aiming for 3 goals at least. 1.05 for Romania. Again, you saw yesterday. Got a couple of routes, 4-0, 6-0, 8-0, or 5-0, 7-0, 9-0. Which one are you going to choose for these shorties? You saw how many times I come in, and you can get a really decent return about a 1.05 shot. Today in the French Open, you can tell it's getting tighter and tighter as the quality remains in the tournament. 1.73, 2.1, suggestive of 5 sets, I would say, particularly this Casper Ruud Zverev match. Zverev was very impressive in his last match. He was given a tough encounter against old Hitler Haircut. Think of it yet, Hitler Haircut, Demonau. We have ways of making you win the set. So it's a top 11 player. So just check out today. We're likely to see a similar story as far as the rankings. Could even be 2 top 10 players. Indeed, there is. So for me, 1.73 is on very shaky ground indeed. I would expect this to be a battle royale. Do read the previews if you want. Could give you an angle in. Possible 5-setter here. So lay the first player to lead by to get to 2 sets. So either a 2-0 or a 2-1 would be my angle to lay. I'm not sure I would lay the first set winner because this could be a 5-setter. So you'd be looking at 2-0 or 2-1, probably in both encounters as well. Yannick Sinner is top 10, I believe. Well, this is a top 3. And 1.57 again. Given what Alcaraz has been put through the ringer a couple of times, even though these look like 3-0s, he has had, well, they are 3-0s, but he has had a few scares along the way. So this is going to be fascinating. I would pin my hopes on the 5-setter element of this. So any of these players to lead 2-0 or even 2-1, you'll be looking at taking them on in the hope that their opponent brings it to 5 sets. That's it for me today. It's a very unappealing football coupon. In-play stats will dominate my decision making. I've just looked forward to the elite leagues returning. We haven't had much change from Finland. It's been very unreadable. Norway and Sweden have been unreadable so far. The Irish, they have their moments. We're getting some reliable sides, but we will see how they perform this evening. I might be up and about for the late kickoffs, but it is kind of my day off today, but it has been a quiet week, so I'd like to follow the tennis. We don't have to turn up at 1:30. Give it some breathing space. Let's wait until 2 sets are done. And then that, for me, would be my trading angle in the expectation of a 5-setter, given we're so deep into the French Open. Have a great day today. As ever, I'll be on Telegram. Sorry, I'm a bit lukewarm with these African internationals. Let's look at Kenya and Burundi in the FIFA rankings, for example. Probably on the second page. So that in itself tells you we're heading into problem zone. 107th in the world rankings, Kenya and Burundi. 140th. Can you really trust anything outside of the world top 100? Well, you saw a number of these odds-ons not delivering yesterday. This is the problem we face. When I see odds-on favourites, I have an automatic expectation that they're going to perform. Now, we can probably say that with the Ivorians, with the highest ranked side in Africa, Morocco, and with Nigeria. I think these would be the matches to focus on largely today. Angola and Eswatini, let's have a look. 94th in the world, Eswatini, 148. So it's a side below the world top 100, playing 148th in the world. Now we're getting into the kind of Andorra, San Marino territory with Eswatini, with those kind of rankings. So have a great day today. I'm sorry things are a little quiet, but I'm not going to be passing on trades to you just for the sake of it. We're here to make money. We're just going to wait for the right opportunities to make that money. And I am following the markets for you. I'm following the in-play stats largely as well. And if I do spot anything, I will certainly pass it on. And as a reminder to you, in the men's, I'm expecting 5 sets. So that opens the door up. Any 2-0, 2-1 set lead, you could take on the player leading 2-0 or 2-1. But this could be one of those where it's each winner's set in turn. Don't be put off by the odds. You look at the rankings. This is a top 3 clash. It's like a derby style match. It's like playing Inter Milan, AC Milan. You don't know what's going to happen. He's even the higher ranked side player, Mr. Sinner. So have a great day today. As ever, I'll be around on Telegram if there are any plays. But we've got the Euros starting in a week's time. So have a great day, and I'll see you on Telegram throughout the day.